Hi, I'm Yoav Goren, and this is Immediate Music. The kind of music I do most of the time is high quality recorded orchestral music, big dramatic trailer music. And trailer music has to have a certain character to it. It's got to hit you over the head, hard, and be in your face. And that was always an element that, in 15 years, I really haven't gotten that formula down on how do I do that. So every mix that we start approaching here is like, how can we bring those strings out a little more? How can we, make it sound more, with more oomph to it? And using the AWS in bringing in stems into the board and treating, separately, you got your high strings and your low strings, being able to affect those and impart a certain character on that, that has really answered my dilemma for all these years. And how do I bring the mix out of the speakers? The process of actually choosing to go with the AWS came about in a roundabout way almost, because for a few years now the central focus of the production studio has been a Pro Tools rig running a lot of tracks. The big advantage for me was that being a little creative, I could see that, well, I don't just have to limit it to, the great SSL EQ. I've got the great SSL compressor on board. We've got great real mixer features on this board that lets you do a million different things. And plus the dock control. I mean, even running Pro Tools through the SSL on its own without anything engaged instantly, improved the sound dramatically. So I was sold right there when I was able to actually hear that. The thing I like most about it is the sound. When you just feed signal into the board, whether it's a synth track or whether you're recording through the great mic pre's, it just imparts a musicality to it that is both, for me, at a very high quality, A, but also B, is cumulative of my experience in music, of listening to great records and being exposed to the skill in producing high quality records. And the first time I heard signal going through the SSL, AWS 900, it was, that's what I want to sound like. So when you run signal through it and you start engaging, the EQ just on a very basic level, all of a sudden you realize what you've been missing when you've been working with plugins. You really get a huge range on every one of the bands, and not only that, it's the character of the sound that is very pleasing to me, and that's what we ultimately do. We find the product that sounds good to us. But with me, there's the added element of being around music for quite a while and always thinking, why can't I get my stuff to sound like that record? And I remember clearly the very first time I started running a mix through it, I had that feeling, and that is an intangible. You can't put a value on that. It's priceless. So I would put that at the top of the list. The sound of the AWS is just that's what got me. I'm elated with my purchase. I mean, I'm so happy with the purchase I made for Studio One here at Immediate Music that I purchased another AWS to replace my existing console in my home studio. It is, the first time we turned it on in here, it was glorious. It was the studio I've always dreamed of, and the SSL AWS 900 is the board that made that happen. Extremely happy and extremely excited about being able to, work 16 or 18 hours a day, whatever it is, with the AWS as my partner. Very happy about that.